This is Dr. Hugo Gonzales, clinical psychologist, and this is your program Insight. Thank you for being here. Today we are going to talk about loneliness and the impact of digital social technology in loneliness. So the question that we want to raise is social internet use contributing to the rising loneliness in modern societies? So studies have shown that over 1/4 of our community or population feels that loneliness affects them. And many of those will experience loneliness most of the time. The reality is that people say that social technologies replace the intimacy of human relationships with superficial communication. And this is going to leave people lacking intimate and quality interactions with others. Of course, this is, as a consequence, going to cause further loneliness. In some cases, social technologies contribute to increases in loneliness because time spent online displaces time spent in face-to-face interaction with others. So Melanie Clay, a well-known psychologist, indicated that loneliness is an unreachable search for a perfect internal state. Loneliness has been compared with a depressive feeling, which is a response to the loss of an earliest relationship between mother and child, infant. This early relationship loss between mother and child is one where there was an understanding without words. There is a direct unconscious contact in between mother and child. So, according to Melanie Clay, loneliness can never be eliminated. Identification with others and overdependence on them may be excessively and defensively employed to try to rid oneself of lonely feelings. Melanie Clay suggests that older people to avoid and deny loneliness and current frustrations may get lost in an idealized past, just as young people may idealize the future for similar reasons. In many ways, young people focused on an idealized future will use, in many cases, digital social technologies. We must say that when internet is used to develop new relationships and enhancing new connections, it is useful in order to reduce loneliness. However, when social technologies are used to escape the social world and avoid social pain of interaction with others, then feelings of loneliness are exacerbated. Lonely people will use the digital technology to avoid engaging in social activities. So, the question is, how can we deal with loneliness in the digital social era? First, the greater the integration, the greater the capacity for a feeling of belonging to oneself as well as to one's internal parents and family are going to be a good way to deal with loneliness. The capacity for greater tolerance of loneliness in itself reinforces feelings of belonging and the capacity to allow oneself to belong that is to say, to commit oneself to good relationships. Social technologies, however, can assist lonely people to develop new friendships and enhance current relationships. Digital social technologies and people who use digital technology and who employ passive coping favor self-disclosure through Facebook, but people who engage in active copying prefer face-to-face self-disclosures. Thank you for being with us.